Hey guys, Rich here. Today, right here, right now, we're gonna be going over my top tips when buying a home for the first time in Colorado. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It would absolutely mean the world to me. Nobody likes doing this unless there's engagement and fun stuff. So without further ado, let's jump right in. We are in a very unique market. As of today, January, what is today? The 12th. We are officially the second most competitive real estate market here in the United States. So there's some things that you guys have to know. My first tip, and stick around because I'm gonna give you a bonus tip that's really gonna help you guys when it comes to competing with these offers. So stick around for the last tip. But my first tip is know the area that you guys are looking in. So your realtor is really going to help you with this if you're not familiar with the area, if you're coming in from out of state, but really knowing the different areas of Denver. The Denver Metro and the entire Front Range is so unique, and that's why I love it, because every town, every city has its own energy, its own vibe, own pros and cons to the areas. So knowing the areas and knowing what they have to offer and their uniqueness is really going to help you out, when you go to shop for a home. With that, also realize where you're gonna work, what your hobbies are, and what you're really looking to, what your day-to-day life is. It does make a difference where you are, obviously, geographically, like proximity to your job and that sort of stuff. What I like to tell people is usually for your job, because obviously job's kind of the most pinnacle thing of everybody's lives if you're an adult, right? Is to be no more than 30 minutes from your job. 30 minutes is kind of like that average commute with or without traffic. If you're more than 30, you're kind of stretching it, like 45 to an hour. You're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna be sitting in your car wanting to blow your brains out. You're gonna absolutely hate me because I sold you a house an hour away from your job. So really know like where you're gonna be commuting from, know the route, and kind of pick a radius in a city to be in, to be close to your job. Some other variables and other factors that you should be cognizant of with that said is also your hobbies. So if you like to ski and snowboard and you're trying to do that, 25, 30, 40 days a year, is it important to you guys to be closer to the mountains or not? Family, friends, where do all your friends live? Where does your family live? Is it important to you to be closer to them or farther away from them? What do you value? And is that a deal breaker? Is that a must have? Is that a want? Is that a need? So knowing the locations and the unique aspects of every town and city is my first tip for you guys. My second tip for you guys is to get pre-approved with a lender before you go shopping. This is extremely important. As I said earlier, we are now the second most competitive real estate market in the United States. With this entire COVID environment that we are in, a lot of sellers and listing agents won't even allow you to go check out the house unless you have a pre-approval letter in hand. This signifies to the seller and the listing agent that you are a qualified buyer, ready to go. You have all of your ducks in a row. Your lender is willing to give you a loan for whatever home that you choose. So being pre-approved lets you know what you can afford. It gives you a budget. And it also makes the job, not only for you, but also for your realtor, so much easier because it doesn't help me or you if I'm showing you stuff at, $550 and you're approved for $450. Again, you're just gonna hate me because I'm showing you all these badass properties and it's just something that's not in the budget right now. So having a pre-approval with a good, solid, reputable local lender is huge. And why you want them to be local is local lenders work with us agents, work with other lenders, and work with consumers in the area. One, they know the market. Two, they have a reputation built up with the local professionals in the marketplace. And so some of these other lenders, and I don't want to knock on anybody because that's not my style, right? But you have some of these bigger box lenders that communicating with them is a hassle. They don't know the current market. You run into appraisal issues. There's an entire bag of problems that can happen with a either out-of-state or big box lender. Communication is absolutely imperative, and I'll jump into that here a little bit later in the video. But communication between the agents, the lenders, and the title company, consumers, everybody, is huge. This market, to put plainly, does not fuck around. And if you don't have all of your ducks in a row, it's going to show, and chances are another offer will be picked. So again, you have to communicate with everybody, and that's huge with the lender. It's very important for them to keep everything on track. And again, if they're local, they realize the importance of this because they are in this market, they're working in this market, and they know what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So that's my second tip for you guys. My third tip, you guys are gonna love this one. Pick an agent that you know, like, and trust. This is a journey buying a home. You're not buying a pair of sneakers. So regardless of if you guys work with me or somebody else, make sure that you know them to a certain degree, trust them to deliver upon their promises to you and get you the house that you're looking for. And thirdly, they communicate well. Touching back on the communication aspect of things, I can't tell you how many offers I've won, with other agents, and we've competed against other offers simply because my communication skills are on point. I want to make sure that everything goes smoothly, not only for you guys, the buyers, but also the sellers, the other agent. We're the hub of the transaction, and I don't take that lightly. It's huge, and it's a big weight on my shoulders, and I love it. But communication is absolutely huge, and if things do go wrong within the transaction, which there is a slight possibility that they may. Every real estate transaction is different. That's part of the reason why I love the business. But when something does go sideways, you want somebody in your corner that you can have an open, honest discussion about. They're going to give it to you straight. They're not going to, BS you about anything. They're going to get it done for you as well. But you gotta like them to a certain extent, guys. You're gonna be hanging out and talking to these people and talking to us, the agents, pretty frequently throughout the transaction. So it's gonna be a little bit of a roller coaster of emotion. And having somebody that you like in your corner advocating for you is, in my eyes, is huge. I wouldn't want to work with anybody that I didn't like or anything like that, especially when buying a house. Again, I'm not buying a pair of Jordans. This is a big deal. So just knowing who the person is to an extent, making sure they have a proven track record. And you know what? Making sure they're full-time as well. I didn't mention that, but full-time agents have a much better understanding of the contracts. They deal with these transactions on a day-to-day basis. They're in the business. They know what's going on. They have a finger on the pulse. Somebody that's part-time isn't necessarily the best and most aggressive person that you may need to win a bid in this absolutely crazy competitive market. So those were my 3 top tips for you guys if you're thinking about moving to Denver. My bonus tip, it's a bonus tip. And this is gonna come in handy when you guys are competing with other offers. Know your personal situation inside out. What I mean by that is not only know your budget and that sort of stuff, that's all fun. If you're coming from out of state, let's say, right, you don't need and going back, like every transaction's different, right? So one seller may be looking for a 14-day close, highest offer, inspection items limited to health and safety, and that's what they're looking for. Another seller, let's say hypothetically, same property, same price, same everything. They're looking for other things within an offer. So maybe they need to close on their house and have a 30 to 60 day rent back so that they're able to find their next home. Now, if you know that you have the flexibility to offer them that, which not every buyer does, sometimes their lease is up or whatever the case may be, they have to get into the house on closing day. So if you guys have the flexibility and know your situation inside and out, that will definitely put you guys ahead of some of these other offers. And appealing to the seller as much as possible without giving up all of your rights is super important, and it'll get you guys some leverage when it comes to competing with multiple offers. So that's kind of my bonus tip. Really knowing your personal situation, financials, timing, what you guys are willing to give up for inspection or anything else that can be used for leverage or negotiations. That is my bonus tip. My name is Rich, and I'm a full-time real estate broker here in the beautiful state of Colorado. All of my personal information is in the description below. It would mean the absolute world to me if you like, shared, and subscribed to my channel. If you enjoyed and found value in this video, click on these boxes up here to explore more of my content. This is Realty Rich, and I will check you guys out on the next video.